What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Frontline Film. We are back. We are here. We took a little hiatus. We both just got super busy. I travel all the time. Landon got a new job, so that's taken up a little bit of his time along with school. Um, but we still want to keep doing this. We still love talking movies and love interacting with you guys. So. We're going to do it a little bit different moving forward. We're just going to do a little bit of more short form content. So, be on the lookout on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, just for shorter form content. And then for big movies like the one we're about to talk about, we'll do a little bit longer reviews, and still give our ratings and everything. Just not a full podcast episode every week because that just takes a lot of time and editing and effort. So we're gonna keep it shorter because that's what people like anyways. And yeah, hopefully we can grow a little bit there. But Landon, how you been, man? It's been some time since we hopped on the Zoom.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with you been traveling, um, new job for me, new kind of phase of school where I'm a lot more busy, but no, we're here. We still love going to the movies, and obviously we're talking about one of the best movies of the year so far this time. So super
Yeah.
excited to talk this with you. We haven't really talked about it because you saw it yesterday. I saw it on Friday, and yeah, super stoked. And yeah, guys, like he said, gonna do a lot more on the TikTok. Gonna do a lot more YouTube shorts and then stuff like this. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at both of our personal accounts and the Frontline Film account, TikTok, and then of course the Letterbox as well. We want to see what y'all are watching, what y'all are rating, all that
Yeah.
good stuff. So
Yeah. So yeah, without further ado, the reason we are back, like you said, one of the best movies of the year, one of the best movies of the decade, one of the
yeah,
best movies of a generation. Some people are saying, and I might maybe agree if I sit down and think about it. We are talking about none other than Paul Thomas Anderson's new film, One Battle After Another, starring arguably the greatest actor of all time, Leonardo DiCaprio. Also starring Sean Penn in a fantastic role, Chase Infinity, Regina Hall, Tiana Taylor, um, and a whole lot of other people. I think I hit all the big hitters though. Um, Obviously, as people know, like Paul Thomas Anderson is just one of those elite directors who's like his hit rate is like insane. I think he's got like around 10 or 11, maybe 12 movies, something like that. And they're all like almost all of them are considered great and like classics. From everything from Boogie Nights, which is probably my favorite of his that I've seen. Um, Magnolia, There Will Be Blood, which some people think that's one of the best movies of all time. And then his most recent was Licorice Pizza a couple years ago, which was good. But the thing about him is all of his movies are very different. Some are kind of comedies, some are like coming of age, some are just much more darker and serious in tone. And this was just something unlike anything both of us had ever seen. We got it. We get a crazy political thriller slash comedy, um, led by the great Leonardo DiCaprio, along with a great cast. And dude, I gotta say, this movie's had it's had the most hype about a movie going into it since Dune 2, probably. And we're both proud to say, like happy to say that it lives up to the hype and then some. Everything that you're seeing about this movie, all the five-star ratings, the critic scores, everything. It is that good of a movie. It is unfreaking believable. Um, and yeah, we can kind of dive into it. I mean, it's honestly, there's obviously a lot of depth to it and stuff, but I said in my short that I made yesterday, it's a pretty simple story about Leonardo DiCaprio, who's a revolutionary. His past kind of catches up with him, and he has to find his daughter who gets kidnapped. I mean, that's pretty much the gist of the story. Obviously, there's a lot of other stuff going on, but for the most part, pretty simple premise, something anybody can get behind and enjoy. Um, and it's just got a crazy crew of side characters and action scenes and comedy scenes. This movie has it all, like you said, in your short the other day.
yeah, no, it like kind of brings you through every emotion And that's what I kind of was hinting at. It's like you definitely laugh, you definitely want to cry, you definitely feel anger, you definitely feel like sadness at the same time, like, and you feel like this over like joyous emotion as well. You get it hits every emotion and it hits it hard. Um, and like you said, like the amount of actors, maybe like Leo, obviously, I think is by far the most like he's the A-list actor in this movie. I would argue he's probably the main character, even though I kind of think there's multiple main characters in this movie. But yeah, you could say he's the A-list, but everyone kind of holds their own, right? Like there's no one's really gives a bad performance. From Benicio del Toro to Sean Penn to Chase Infinity, who I think, Sean Penn and Chase Infinity are my MVPs from this movie. I think both of them were just absolutely incredible. And they, kind of had to carry characters with multiple, like, I guess showcase like different backgrounds, but at the same time, like they're trying to live these lives that maybe they don't fully understand. Like Sean Penn, trying to be a part of the Christmas, whatever they're
The
called.
Christmas Adventurers
Yeah,
Club.
the Christmas adventures, but at the same time, he makes a couple comments of like, who he likes and stuff like that. And then Chase Infinity, she's this very academic, like very what's the word I'm looking for? Very, very like involved in her high school. She's very smart and she obviously has friends, but at the same time, like she doesn't even know her true identity. She doesn't even know who she really is. It is such a good movie that I literally genuinely like when everybody was getting up to walk out of the theater, I had to sit there and like I wonder if these people had the same reaction to this movie that I did. I hope they did because I was just sitting there. I was like, dude, thank God. Like went to the movie theater to see this. Like I took time out of my day. I went to the movie theater. I got to experience with a pretty full theater on a Friday afternoon, which also makes me like super happy that people are going to see this movie. And like I said in my short, like you have to see this movie in theaters. It's not going to do it justice for you to sit at home and wait for it to come out on a streaming service or, watch it on a plane when it's able to. Like I really do think this is a movie like I we said with Dune 2, like that's a movie that you have to go see on the big screen, and I 1 billion% am going to stand by that. Like you have to go see this in a movie, like a movie theater.
Yeah, for sure. And like obviously see it on whatever screen you can, but see it on the biggest screen you possibly can. I saw it at Lincoln Square in 70 millimeter, and it was just jaw dropping. That final car chase scene, which we'll get to, was just unreal.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. You absolutely like, yeah, I agree 100%. You have to go see this movie in theaters. This is not one you want to wait for. Um, like we said at the beginning, and how everybody's been saying, like it genuinely is like probably one of the best movies, at least of the decade, if not like the last 20 plus years. Like it is just one of those that is going to go down as a classic. We're going to be 50, 60 years old one day and go back, and this is going to be on TV, and we're going to be like, man, I remember going to see that. I remember how much fun I had in the theater, getting to experience that for the first time. It's
And
one of
it's
those that you just got to see.
Yeah, I'll also say this, like it's very current to what's going on right now. Like, does it take like it's not the same it's not the same like exact things that are going on, but like it's very current. It's very like what's going on in the world today. And I think that's what makes movies as well, like movies and TV shows great as well, is like you can go see a movie to get like an escape from the real world sometimes, but at the same time, like you understand when the movie's trying to be send a message or like kind of bring something to light. I think this movie just captured that so perfectly too. Like it's not that it's in the background, but at the same time, like it's not in the background. I guess if that makes sense. Like it's there, it's in the setting, and they don't shy away from it either. They're not trying to beat around the bush, which I respect. Like if you're gonna do it, go full into it, and they did that perfectly. Like I don't think there's like. And the crazy thing is we had such high expectations for this movie basing it off what other people said, people that we respect, that we agree with in certain movie takes. And when you see people who don't agree sometimes all saying the same thing, then you're like, okay, like this movie must be pretty good if everybody's having the same opinion on it. And dude, having the such high expectations and having it blow them out of the water, it's just like you rarely get that. You
Oh
rarely
yeah.
get that.
It's the best. It's the best. Like I said, this is probably the most hyped up movie since Dune Part Two, and it's right up there with Dune Part Two as, one of the best movies of the last 20 years, in my opinion. It's unbelievable. Like we said, it is just laugh out loud hilarious. Leo is so funny. Sean Penn is hilarious. Benicio del Toro has a couple insanely funny lines. I can't, everything on my Twitter is jokes about him saying a few small beers
Yeah. Yeah.
and just other little like memes and stuff from it. But it really is like laugh out loud funny. While some of the overarching like themes and messages are like super serious and some of them are like kind of dark, it is also one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time. It very much balances that seriousness along with the action, along with the comedy. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's not like it's just bang bang explosion action. It's just like tense, on the edge of your seat action that like feels realistic.
Yeah.
And the way that we can jump into it now, this car chase sequence at the end, going through the hills of wherever they are, um, was unbelievable. It was
Yeah.
literally unlike anything I'd ever seen. The camera work was unreal, and it just goes to show the skill of the director and the cinematographer because how many car chases have we seen in our life in movies or shows? Every movie has at least one. I mean, like all of them. And a lot of the times it's the same thing. So how can a director come up with a unique way to do it? And he did it. That was unlike any car chase, anything that I had ever seen. It was so tense. The score was awesome. There wasn't even like any dialogue the whole time. It was just them driving and oh, dude, it was unbelievable. Did you agree with like that statement? That scene was just like
Oh, dude.
unreal.
Literally, and the sound is so perfect, like of the different cars. I think it's capturing like the different cars as well. Because like sometimes they're all three similar cars and they just all sound the same. But no, dude, like coming over the hill and then it's quiet for a second. You can kind of hear it in the distance and then it rolls back up. There's the car full force again, dude. My jaw was on the floor, man. My jaw was on the floor. And I found myself like rooting for like Leo to catch up or for like Willa to like get away and it just always is like leaving you in the sense of like, dude, what is gonna happen? Like, how is this gonna go down? It was the same thing like when Sean Penn's character, is driving and the Mustang like flies beside him, and he's like, roll your window down or whatever. Like even that little chase scene, and wasn't even a chase scene. He just noticed he was like coming up on him, like, and then the car flip and like everything like that, and I kind of just like, I guess when you watch more movies, you kind of realize that how do they get different? And it might have not been besides the cinematography with the hills and everything, but like the sound in the whole car chase scene and even him like, crashing off to the side, like even the sound there. I
Yeah.
don't know, dude. It's just like little things like that. It is one of the best scenes. And dude, when we talk about great scenes from this year, obviously we bring up the center scene like above all, and then there's a couple opening scene in Warfare, and this scene is going to 1,000% one that we keep coming back to. And that's what makes this like it's just little things like that. There's multiple scenes in this movie that I think are either like the way it's like shot and the way everything like unfolds in front of you. But no, that car chase scene. And I'll also say this, it's not short either. Like it's not just like, oh, this happens for like a minute. Dude, it like drags on for like 5, 6, 7 minutes. And you're like, dude, what is this going to happen? And finally when it does, God, it makes me so happy. Like it gets me fired up, bro.
Yeah. No, and that's just a credit, like I said, back to Paul Thomas Anderson. The fact that he's able to take these themes and these just, scenes that we've seen a million times in movies, whether it's even just people jumping across the roof, but the way it was shot, those skateboarders jumping off
Oh,
the roof, like the parkour and Leo following them with the lighting in the background and they had their skateboarders, like it was just little things like that. It's little things you've seen done a million times, but the way that they did it and they shot it, it's just unreal. And then we hadn't really talked too much about it. Man, the acting was just phenomenal. Everybody.
yeah.
Tiana Taylor and Regina Hall in a little bit smaller roles, and then obviously you got Leo, Chase Infinity, Benicio del Toro, and Sean Penn. They were all phenomenal. I think it's insane because Leo's one of the best. I think Leo's probably, in my opinion, the greatest actor of all time. It's him or De Niro. Um, but we've seen incredible performances by Leo. This is up there with one of his best. Like it's
Yep.
just it's unreal that he's still able to do it and play such different characters so well. And then I think you said it too. I think the MVP of this movie is Sean Penn. He plays a hilarious villain, but also like
Very complex, I feel
very
like.
complex and like you can kind of sense that like you know, there's some issues like mentally maybe or with dealing with loneliness, trying to be accepted, things like that that you can kind of relate to. And but he's also just hilarious. Every like almost everything, every dialogue that he has, everything he does is just so funny and subtle, but it works. It's so funny. Him from like combing his hair on the elevator,
Dude,
just
he
little
just,
things like that.
bro, he takes out the comb. He
And
just
he
like
puts it in his mouth.
sucks on it. Dude, I was like, what is going on?
But
Oh,
I mean, I don't really know. I haven't watched a lot of like the artsy fartsy movies, that are coming out of all these film festivals right now. But I don't, I mean, that's the best supporting actor performance of the year I've seen. So I think he 100% deserves that. He was unreal. Leo deserves a nom. I think Chase Infinity probably deserves a nom. Like, it's brilliantly acted, it's brilliantly directed. The score is phenomenal. The story is intriguing. And like you said, it's a long movie. It's almost 3 hours, and you're on the edge of your seat most of the movie,
right.
and it's like a super quick 3 hours. Like
Yeah,
it flies by.
was for me.
Uh,
Yeah, it was very quick.
yeah, it was unreal. So trying to think, is there anything else, dude?
Well, I
I
do
don't
want to
know.
highlight one scene for me in particular, is when she gets pseudo arrested in the whatever it's called, the place, the sisters or whatever, I forget the exact name for it. Anyways, she gets arrested and she's getting like walked to where Sean Penn's character is.
That big
And
room.
yeah, yeah, and it's this long, altar looking room. And with Sean Penn just sitting there, and you kind of are wondering what's about to go down. You kind of have this idea of like what he's about to do, but at the same time, like I don't know, that scene where they go back and forth and the dialogue in that scene, along with the funny remarks that are made, like "Why is your t-shirt so
Why is your
tight?" Like
t-shirt so
that,
tight?
that's hilarious. But it's just other like him yelling at her, like when there's that little interaction when they find out that she is his child and he goes uh-oh, and there's just like the back and forth and him like screaming at her and calling her like different names, like he uses the word mutt, like stuff like that is so good in dialogue, especially how he delivers it, because he is so full of hate, like at the same time, like he wants to be accepted, but he is like a terrible dude, like he's just a terrible person. He's so full of hate, and like that, like comes out of him. I don't know, man. It's just good. Like them two together in that scene was so good.
Yeah, dude, brilliantly acted by just everybody. And then one more scene I wanted to talk about, up there with the hardest I've laughed in like several years, was the all of the phone. There were like two phone call scenes between Leo and the guy on the other end, um, part of the revolution or whatever. It was just it's like the greatest phone call scene in a movie I think I've ever seen. Our whole theater was belly laughing like
Yeah,
the whole time to the point you couldn't even like really hear them at some
yeah,
points. It was so funny. Leo's getting so riled up trying to, he's freaking out. He's trying to find out where his daughter is, where they took her. And so he's got that passion, but it's just some of the line deliveries and some of the writing there was just comedy, bro.
yeah,
Like funnier than any like major comedy movie you've seen this
yeah.
year.
No,
Like it just incredible. So much good stuff. You got incredible comedy. You got tense stuff like the interrogation scene that we just talked about, and then you got the awesome car chase sequence at the end. This movie has everything. Um, everybody delivers, and like everyone has been saying, it is one of the best movies probably of this generation, and it is going to be considered a classic, by the time we're older. I definitely like 100% agree that. And I think I told you somebody said like it's this generation's Departed. And I kind of like kind of agree with that. It's just one of those movies that's just going to stick around and probably be some people's favorites for a long, long time, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, dude, shout out Paul Thomas Anderson and Leo, Benicio del Toro, who small role, but he was so funny, and Sean Penn, Chase Infinity, everybody. Shout out everybody making this movie. It was unbelievable. We've sat here and glazed it long enough. So I guess we can go ahead and give out scores. You go first. You go first.
Yeah, so again, we're saying this, go follow our Letterbox because then you can kind of see like when we watch it what our initial thoughts are because Letterbox is one of the first things I do. I know it's one of the first things you do. Even though we have to think about it sometimes. So, I gave it 5 stars. I gave it 5 stars on Letterbox. I mean, this was no surprise. And my rating for it is a 9.8. And like a movie that's like 10 for me is obviously The Empire Strikes Back is a 10 for me. And the literally like first watch, I'm going to want to watch this movie again and again and again just because like to get that experience again. But a 9.8, I rarely give a movie this high. I think Dune 2 was the last movie that I gave a 9.8. So I'm putting it up there with Dune 2. Like that's high praise for me if you know me. So, dude, like
Is
I
that above
said,
Sinners?
huh?
Is that above
Yeah,
Sinners?
because Sinners was 9.7. So this is above Sinners. It's my number one movie of the year. And this is me going in it with like excessive hype. So, and then I'll let you do yours. Please go see this movie in theaters. I cannot say that enough. Please go see it. Make time out of your day. Go see it. You will, I'm almost guaranteed you will love it. Like, this is that
Yeah.
good.
It's like it's even a movie that like I feel like I could recommend to my parents and they would probably love it. Like
Yeah.
it's not it's just an easy story that anybody can get behind and it's funny and it's just great. It's great. Yeah, so I sat and thought about it a lot about where to rank it on the year. I also gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd instantly. It's just one of those that just I didn't even have to think about it.
Yep.
Like just instant 5 stars.
Yep.
And it was funny. I saw a whole bunch of people around me. Um, this is how you know, like, when a person is a film nerd. I saw this movie at 8:30 in the morning. It was a sold out crowd. It was unreal. Those are the real moviegoers right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like literally everybody around me pulled up their letterbox and I was kind of looking around. Everybody was like 5 stars, 5 stars. I mean, rightfully so.
Yep.
So yeah, 5 stars. I gave this movie right around you. I gave it a 9.9, 9.9.
Yes, sir.
It's right there up. Like you said, we both rank di movies differently. I think like obviously Interstellar is my favorite movie of all time. That's a 10 out of 10. But that doesn't mean that there's not other like 10 out of 10 movies
Right.
in my opinion. It's just personal preference at that point. But I gave it a 9.9. It is not my number one on the year. I still have Weapons as a perfect score. I think Weapons was just, I don't know. It was just one of those that will stick with me for a long time. And it was so entertaining and just wild. And I don't know, it's just personal preference thing. This is 100% like a better movie, obviously, direct wise and everything, but it's just like enjoyment and stuff. I have Weapons as a 10 out of 10, and this is a 9.9. I mean, it's right there. It's number two on the year. It's not going to get passed. I doubt it. So, yeah, dude, everybody needs to go check this out. 9.8 from you, 9.9 from me. Like, it's just one of those movies. Like, even like like we think probably of this decade, Dune Part Two is probably the best movie of this decade so far. But like, I don't know. I think this movie is going to sit with people
Yeah.
much further down the line than Dune Part Two because
I
there's going to
think
be
Dune. So I think Dune 2 can kind of do the Empire Strikes Back thing if Dune 3 is also really good. So like if you have just a really good trilogy,
yeah
then everybody will say that sequel, it sticks out. But I'm with you. Like everyone, like you said, like this generation is departed. Like a lot of people are gonna remember this movie, especially like people who love movies. And I hope it gets to the point where just like everybody talks about one battle after another, not just people who love movies. Like people who have seen it are like, yeah, that movie's incredible. I recommend that if you haven't seen it, obviously.
yeah for sure. But yeah, like Landon and I've been saying, go see this. I think this movie's going to have like good legs at the box office. Good, like it's going to get a lot of really good word of mouth, and people are going to continue to see it.
Yeah.
So, um, Yeah, dude, unreal movie. Everybody has to go check it out. It's just one of those like generational movies that you just like have to see and have to be a part of. You have to be a part of the conversation.
Yep.
So, yeah, dude, that is one battle after another. One of the best movies of the year. I remember when the trailer came out and we were like, this looks like it could be really good.
Yep.
And of course, it was unbelievable. So, um, yeah, so like like we said at the beginning, we're gonna continue to still do some movie reviews for movies we really like and want to talk about. But we're gonna focus on the short form content as well. I don't really know like what some of the big upcoming movies are. I think we got Smashing Machine soon, Tron, in a couple weeks. There's some stuff here and there, and it's also like starting to be like Oscars season, so a lot of these like smaller independent movies are coming out. So um, we got some good stuff coming out, I think. We'll just have to see and pick and choose what we want to talk about. But had to talk about this one. Um, Glad to be back and trying to think. You got anything else you want to say?
No, follow on TikTok. Go look at YouTube Shorts, TikTok, our Letterbox, Twitter. All those links will be in the description below. And then let us know any movies or shows that you've been watching that you really enjoy that you think we would like. Cole's been on a show kick lately. I have to catch up, but I'm very excited about some of the shows that are basically finishing up the season, and I'll be binging those. So yeah, let us know what you want us to talk about. If there's show reviews, movie reviews, any of that good stuff. And like he said, look out for the TikToks because I feel like we'll be more on top of that, whether it be like by episode, by season
Yeah,
finish.
those are easier and quicker to pump out. So
So, yeah, no, we appreciate you guys watching and go see this movie in theaters.
Viva la
Viva la
revolution!
revolution!